Hey people of VC, Andy back for the fourth installment of my 3 random record series. So this series of videos, you guys provide me with numbers between 1 and 150. Those numbers correspond to index numbers that I've randomly allocated to my metal collection. So these are all the albums that I've yet to show in VC videos so far. Promised myself I wasn't going to go over all the ins and outs of this again. Take a look at the first 3 videos, the intro in this series, and watch on, and you'll get the gist of what's happening. So in the last video, I asked for 3 numbers. 3 numbers I got. In fact, I got more than 3 numbers, so I've already got a few people lined up for the next episode as well, which is great. But you know, hopefully, yeah, keep them coming. If you've not been involved, or whether you have been involved, I don't care on this stage. I'm just happy when people leave numbers. So leave a comment with a number between 1 and 150 in the comments if you want to be involved in one of the future episodes of this. So I'm going to dive in. First up, number 73 was selected by Frank at channel 33 RPM. If you don't know channel 33, it's the YouTube channel all about vinyl gear and more, still coming at you with a whole new episode every single Sunday. Seriously though, check out Frank's channel. Excellent entertainment every week. I think I've just butchered his tagline, so apologies for that, Frank. But yes, number 73. So that's either an album or an EP. Jury's out on this one. Dio, Intermission, 1996 on Vertigo. So it's kind of a pseudo live album, but it's not a full concert. Feels to me a bit like it's Dio filler at this point in time in his career. I don't know. I think this was what he was doing Hearing Aid. So he probably just wanted to stick something else out for the fans, but there he is on the cover, fighting a ferocious plastic dragon. So this is a mostly live album. Time to Burn, I can't do this backwards. Time to Burn is the only studio track on this, and I think that was basically to showcase new guitarist Craig Goldie, who replaced Vivian Campbell. Now, as live albums go, and I love my live albums, especially with my 80s live albums, this is pretty limp. The sound lacks any real oomph. You can't really hear the crowd, and I'm sure the crowd had a great time. I'm sure it was a great gig at the time, but you don't really get anything that coming through. It just seems to have the production seems to have taken away the crowd noises. The guitars is kind of downplayed a bit now, whether that's because they didn't want Vivian Campbell's guitars to take center stage when he'd already left the band. In fact, even the picture of the back has Craig Goldie there. So it kind of implies that he's been playing on it. And I've also read in a couple of places that they overdubbed the live tracks with his rhythm guitars as well. So it kind of, to me, they've butchered the sound. It sounds a bit more like a bootleg rather than an official album. But there you go. It's kind of nice enough to have. But is it an EP or is it an album? It has 6 tracks, although Rock and Roll Children on the B-side is a medley of Long Live Rock and Roll and Man on the Silver Mountain. It's about 10 minutes long or so. So it's over half an hour. So to me, it's an album, but 6 tracks is an EP. Nothing exciting on the inside. In fact, I bought this, I think it was April last year, 2015. I got it as one of 3 Dio albums, part of an eBay purchase. Got it really cheap. I think it was about £9 or £10 for all 3. No one else bid on it, so that was great. I did find out after, and certainly seen some for sale on Discogs, that the original did come with a free postcard pack, exclusive photos, but not in my copy. But there we go. It's not a great album to me. I'm kind of glad I've got it, but yeah, it's nothing special to me in terms of Dio's back catalogue. One thing I find is that if I don't know if you can see on here, but from the picture of the band here, we've got everybody's looking at the camera with the exception of old Claude Schnell here, who actually looks like he's a waxwork dummy of himself, and the rest of the band had just gone and visited and had a selfie taken with him. Got Jimmy Bain on here obviously as well, he passed on this year, so I say nice enough to have, but doesn't get played very often, apart from this week obviously before this video. So thanks Frank, channel 33 RPM, for joining in, picking number 73, which was Dio Intermission. Oh, didn't show the record. Vertigo release, nothing particularly special, just standard with the Dio logo. And this is a UK pressing. There we go. Okay, next up, number 77, selected by Scott Waters. Thanks for joining in, Scott. You have picked one of my favourite hard rock heavy metal albums. Little known to some. Certainly, I guarantee there's probably not that many people out there that would have this as one of their favourite metal albums, but to me it is, and that is Tattoo Beat Messiah by Zodiac Mindwarp and The Love Reaction. If you don't know Zodiac Mindwarp and The Love Reaction, they're a strange bunch. They're very much on the lighter side of metal, and I think we need bands like this in metal just to keep you sane. Every song on this album is fantastic to me. It maybe with the exception of, so they've got, this is a late 80s album, sort of say 87. So you kind of always have to throw in some kind of ballady type song. Kid Stuff on side B is certainly fits that bill, but you know, straight from the off is just killer track after killer track. Prime Mover, have a look on YouTube for the Prime Mover video. It is so 80s, it's outrageous. You've got Zodiac and the crew coming down from space, crashing their way into a convent school, and they just go about converting the innocent convert girls into party animal rock chicks, and blowing up the nuns that come and try and save them. So it's very much of this time. But yeah, Prime Mover, Skull Spark Joker, great song. Backseat Education, Bad Girl City, Untamed Stare, Tattoo Beat Messiah, Let's Break the Law, Spasm Gang, yeah, pretty good. Driving on Holy Gasoline, great song. Panic Girl, Kid Stuff as I mentioned, and Messianic Reprise. Lyrics for this are, I like the, so this is just the inner sleeve. The lyrics are on the inner sleeve. There's a lot of notes and things written on here, and it's all kind of it's kind of made of nonsense. So within the fifth dimension theocracy, that is the Mindwarp apostles of groove are at work. Stargazer hurls a salvo of sonic debris skywards from the sleaze grinder. The bastard Flash shoots stars from the firmament of the electric Gestapo. And it just goes on and on. It's great stuff. It's complete nonsense, but great stuff. But very much in line with the members of the band. So you've got Zodiac Mindwarp on vocals, Cobalt Stargazer and Evil Bastard as the guitarists, Thrashty Garbage on bass, and Slam Thunderhide on drums. This is an original phonogram pressing, UK pressing. I think that, I mean they're a UK band. They sound and they look very American. But from what I can tell, yeah. So Mike Manning is the real name of Zodiac Mind Warp, and I think he used to be a graphic designer or something. He did this was by night was Zodiac Mind Warp, but comes with a poster as well. So I'm not sure actually. I've opened it. Yeah, so. There we go. LP, MC, and CD. Now I had this back in the 80s. I had this on tape, and I played it a lot. And it was one of the first albums I wanted to get when I started collecting vinyl again. And I meant to write down when I bought it, so bear with me 1 second. Yeah, so I picked it up in November last year off Discogs for. It cost me about £4. I say it's easy to get hold of because I don't think anyone's looking for it, but honestly, it's one of my favorite albums. It's a lot of fun. It's just hard and heavy and just relentless. It's great stuff. So thank you, Scott Waters. Obviously, the man that needs no introduction within the vinyl community. Yeah, everyone must be subscribed to him by now. But if you're not, if you're the one person who isn't, then check out his channel below. You won't be disappointed. Okay, last up, Jody Watson gave me number 81 for to show. Obviously, he didn't know what number 81 was. I didn't know what it was until I looked up. But it's a classic, and it's from 1983, and it's Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. So I should mention that yeah, Jody's got a good channel as well. Shows a lot of cassettes and memorabilia, and picks up a lot of good stuff. His videos are pretty good and entertaining. Enjoy watching them. So yeah, 1983, Peace of Mind. This is the main album that contains my favourite Maiden track, The Trooper. Whether it's the favourite because I like it more than anything else, which I probably do, with being favourite, stupid thing to say really, or the fact that it's the first Maiden track I ever heard. Although I heard it sometime after this album had come out. It's a single disc album on gatefold with the lyrics and the Iron Maiden guys sitting down for a piece of Eddie's brain for dinner. Obviously, this was Nico McBrain's first album with the band. Yeah, replacing Clive. Sorry, getting gross in the covers. I always do. Labels. I think everyone's seen this before. Everyone knows this album. Now, I have a bit of a love-like relationship with it. Not love-hate. There's nothing to hate about it at all. But a love-like relationship. So, the first Maiden album that I owned was Live After Death, and then subsequently when I picked up other Maiden albums, certainly this one, there are a number of tracks on here that are also on the Live After Death. Revelations, Flight of Icarus, Die With Your Boots On, and The Trooper. Now, The Trooper I was used to, I've heard it before, how it on 7-inch single, but those are the tracks, after hearing them live on Live After Death and getting into them and knowing them word for word, and even throwing in the odd Scream For Me Long Beach in between each word, I found myself listening to this and still throwing in those in my head, but they seem they lack the oomph of the live album, and as a result, this is, to me, some of those tracks sound kind of slow and a bit lifeless to some degree as a result. So I still enjoy it, I still play it occasionally, but Yeah, those three tracks certainly on side one, Revelations, Flight Licorice, Dive Your Boots On. I kind of prefer the live versions more, and again probably because I just heard them on that for the first time. Some interesting stuff on here. So, To Tame a Land, the last track on side two, the Maiden wanted to call this June after the novel, but so they sought permission from Frank Herbert, who stated in no uncertain terms, or his publicist or whoever stated in no uncertain terms, that Frank Herbert doesn't like rock bands, particularly heavy metal rock bands, and especially bands like Iron Maiden. So they were forced to change the name to Tame the Land, um, which is cool. So it's a good track, but I don't know, maybe Frank Herbert didn't need more publicity, but he should have really got a little bit more with a Maiden track named after one of his books. And of course, one of the other things that Live After Death, Peace of Mind is famous for is the satanic backwards message that precedes Still Life. So something that was recorded and played backwards. So Nico McBrain obviously his debut here, but the whole. In fact, I've got a clip of it here. So this is it turned back the other way, which kind of proves that it's not particularly satanic or anything. So hopefully this will come across on the recording. Okay. Whoa, said the thing with the tree bones. Don't meddle with things you don't understand. Not, oh, and a belch. Not the most satanic. Mind you, honestly though, the people that were taken in by the whole satanical backwards message thing, I mean, if they believed the hype and went along with them, then they're already beyond help, if you ask me. So anyway, that's the end. The end. That's the end of those three. There's plenty more still to come. Thank you, Jodie Watson, for joining in. Number 81. Link to his channel below. Nothing left to say, but yeah, please, if you enjoyed this, join in. I haven't got that many subscribers. I'm thankful for the ones I've got, but I've certainly got a lot that haven't joined in and been involved with this yet. So you don't have to leave any great big comment or sweeping statement or anything like that. Just leave a number, and I'll let you know if you're in the episode. The numbers that have been previously selected and all the ones that people have come up with so far, that maybe I'm going to show in the next episode as well. They're all listed below. The instructions are all listed below. If you still don't get it, drop a comment, and I'm happy to explain it again. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and catch up with you soon. Cheers, everyone. Bye.